Hi, I'm Dr. Jon Anderson and I'm a dissertation supervisor. I think you should think about in terms of presentation that you, for example, good essay practice and apply this to dissertation. So if it's a quotation or an excerpt from a piece of literature that's more than perhaps 2 lines long, that you put it on a new line and you indent it, it just makes your page not just one block of text, but set up nicely. It's easier on the eye. All these little things that you do just to make the person who's marking it feel as if it looks like a journal article or an academic piece of work. It's professionally put together and it's not difficult on the eye. So things like line spacing will do all those things in line with the protocols of the dissertation that can be found in the relevant handbooks. You should also think perhaps if it's appropriate for me to use pictures, to use diagrams, to use graphs, then when am I going to use them? I don't want to use too many. I want them to be well produced. I use colour if necessary, and just to make them look professionally put together. All the things that I've thought about every dimension of my piece of work and trying to make it as professional as possible. I think in one sense it's relatively useful in terms of looking at past dissertations, particularly past dissertations that have good marks. Look about how they're set up, how they're presented, how they structure their chapters, how internally within chapters are they structured, how they're moving and signposting between one argument to the next argument in order to make these things useful and worthwhile. As soon as you've broken down that it's not one huge piece of work and actually think a literature review is attempting to do X, Y, and Z, and my analysis chapters are looking to do A, B, and C, then actually sometimes comparing it to past dissertations can be quite a useful exercise. Having said all that, I think comparing it to people within particular cohorts and your kind of colleagues and your fellow students at particular times often can make people worry when they shouldn't worry. A lot of dissertations are quite different in their form, quite different in the sorts of questions that they're asking, how they're engaging in policy or engaging with theory or engaging with empirical practice. All will do things in different ways to different degrees. And so students should be aware that there's lots of ways to skin a cat. There's lots of ways to do a good dissertation, and it's not a straightforward template that everyone has to fit into in order, if I do this and this and this, I'll get a good mark. Students should be aware that actually they should just be pushing themselves to do the best dissertation that they can do in line with their supervisor's advice. And as long as they're doing that and engaging with that problem, then that's what they should be doing. So to reiterate, see your supervisor, get their advice from them as often or as regularly as possible, probably every 2 to 3 weeks in their autumn semester. Don't leave it longer than that. Don't not engage with your supervisor, because they're their first port of call, can really help you stay on the straight and narrow.